Right, hi everybody, we're back again, part 2. We've made our spine binding and now we're on to making pages, which is the good bit. Now loads of you have been asking what fabric it is, where I got it from, how can they get it. Now it's Moda fabric and I'm pretty sure that's available in the States as well as here. And it was some fabric sent to me by the very kind Sharon Hales. And I just loved it so much I had to make a project with it. Obviously I've cut into this, but this is what it looks like. And you get all these fabulous labels and tickets and it's beautiful fabric. And for what we want to do with it, it's absolutely perfect. So that's this one, and it's called Flea Market Fresh. I don't think I've still got the... No, I haven't. It's called Oh, there we are. Cathy Holden, and it's spelt C-A-T-H-E, Holden, H-O-L-D-E-N, and it's called Flea Market Fresh by Moda. So there you are. That's what it looks like, and it comes... Sharon was kind enough to buy me half a metre, so... But then I had to move along, and I bought some for myself. And what I bought was the layer cake. That's the 10 by 10 pieces that you get. And it's just so beautiful. You know, I mean, look at that. And there's some that are, I mean, who does that remind you of, for example? Mentioning no names. You get 2 of each piece. Stamps, plates. Look at those red stamps. More of the writing sort of stuff. Orange stamps. This is a collage already made for you, so you could just put that on and sew around it. Once again, this is oh no, that's a label from the other one. The same as this, but in purple. Beautiful. Purple stamps. Then this, that's kind of like a border, I suppose, but easy to cut out and sew on. Blue stamps. Flowers on a blue background, I love that one. Turquoise stamps, turquoise edging. Like I say, you get 2 of every one. And this lovely bottle green with the flowers on, that's really nice too. And then some of the fabric, the stuff that I'm using, you obviously get 2 pieces of that. And then a big one. It's got birds on and things. It's beautiful on a lavender background. And that's that. So that's what I bought. I've also ordered some other stuff, but I don't think I'll be using it in this one. I don't think. We'll see how we go. Anyway, so we've got our spine made. Let's take these off here and make sure it is actually okay before I continue. Put my clips away, otherwise Cat can get some. He thinks it's a game. Sorry, that was probably very loud. It's close to the microphone. Yeah, so there we have it. Our spine. These 2 seem to have stuck together. That's it. So we've got 5 mountains and our 2 pieces on the end for the to mount the covers. So that's what you should have. Okay. So I have already made 2 pages. I think some of you have seen them. I was just testing the theory, as it were, yesterday. So this was the one that I made. I've added some lace. I've added some buttons. Piece of lace here. I've done a little bit of hand embroidery there, some French knots, some cross stitches. And I've added a bulb pin with a little charm on it. And that's a little stamp there as well, and a piece of green fabric. But you can add what you want or add nothing, you know. So that's that page. Then this page, the blue page, all bits from the fabric. This is a bit of Timmy fabric here actually, and here, just to make the background up really. Some buttons again, a bulb clip and a charm. Now and lace along here. Now the charms I got from Amazon, and they come in this cute little box. And there's tape measures and buttons, scissors, sewing machines. I'm really pleased with it actually. There's several different sorts of scissors, little embroidery scissors, perfect. So I got those from Amazon. I've also been using lace, which I had a moustache. I mean, we're not using very big pieces, so you know, get your scrap box out probably and you'll have enough. So those are the 2 pages that are completed, and at the end we'll stick them in, hopefully, and make sure that the concept works. But this is the 3rd page, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Let me just refer to my camera because I did take a photograph of this one. There it is. Is that it? No, that's not it. No. Yes, that's the one. So I just want to refer to that because I can't remember where the things go, obviously. I was talking to Mr. F this morning, halfway through a sentence, I forgot what we were talking about. That is the truth. So, yeah, my memory, I've got too much going on in there. So, these are from the fabric, the Moda fabric. And then this is from the Moda fabric as well. It's just gorgeous. And I'm putting that over the other one, up into that corner. But as I said yesterday, you could do this using paper if you wanted to. Nothing's stopping you. And you can still sew it. You can sew paper, no problem. I just wanted to make a sewing journal, so I wanted to use fabric. Right, what have I got now? Ah, yeah, this is a piece of Timmy fabric, but it's got that lovely turquoisey colour in that I'm referencing, and orange, which is there, so it picks up on that. So I want to use this piece because it's the sort of palest piece, really, and I'm going to put that under there, like that. Then that piece is going on top of there. It's quite essential to get your order right when you start sewing things down. Otherwise, you just get into a bit of a mess, a muddle more than a mess. And then this piece, isn't this gorgeous? This one goes there. And then down here, we've got the other part of that handmade sign, which I've chopped up to give it a bit of movement. And then I've got this. Oh, I just love these little pieces. They're gorgeous. And that's going to go there. And then we'll decorate with some lace, and then eventually I'll stick on, or safety pin or something, that piece of lace with a couple of the stamps. So that's the page. Now then, how you go about sewing it. Nothing more complicated than that. This is the piece that's on the bottom, this piece here. So that's the first piece that needs to go on. So now we've got the pattern in our head, or hopefully in our head. Let's stick this piece on. Now, I'm just going to cut it just up there, because that's a good remnant to hang on to. And I'm just going to put a little bit of my glue on the back. Try not to put it sort of around the edge where you're going to be stitching, because most machines aren't overly keen on sewing through glue. So that's that. Let's get that. It was sort of in the middle, wasn't it? About there. Right, so that's that down. And I'm just going to trim off the excess that I've got. You can trim it up more neatly when you've got it all sort of done and dusted. Right. So the next piece, possibly, well, certainly up the top, the next piece is this bit. So I'm going to stick that down a little bit, and then I'm going to go and sew around it. Now you've got the choice. Obviously you can use a fancy stitch if your machine does fancy stitches. You can use a straight stitch, you can use a zigzag, and actually on mine I've used a combination of both. I've zigzagged around there, but I've straight stitched this. Whatever takes your fancy when you sit down at the machine, really. That's zigzagged, that's zigzagged, that's zigzag, so it looked like I used pretty much all zigzag on that. But it's absolutely up to you. Really, really is. If you've got a nice fancy stitch that you want to get out the cupboard, out the sewing machine cupboard, do that. You know, do whatever you fancy. So I'm just going to stick a little bit of glue on the back there so it doesn't move around on me. And you don't want too much because you don't want it coming through to the front if you can possibly help it. So let's get this completely correctly positioned in that corner, down the edge and along the top. There we go. Right, so I'm going off to stitch around there and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's that sewn on. I haven't sewn around this edge note because they all get sewn up together at the end. So I'm just going to trim my ends. I've asked my machine to tie off at the beginning and the end, so the stitches should be locked in. They should be okay to just go straight ahead and trim my ends off. Right, so what happens next? Where's my picture gone? I think the next thing is probably this, which goes down there. But I've got this to consider. Does that go over or under? I think it's going to go over, and the reason is because this one's gone under. So I'm trying to create lots of planes. So this is the back, this one's on the next plane, this one's on the next plane. So I want this one over, which will form another plane. So we've got, you know, the back, the next, and the next. So yeah, I like that. That's fine. It's always worth considering these things. You know, making the page up first. Don't just grab something and start from there, because you'll no doubt end up regretting it. I always do. So this is the next piece that I want to stick on anyway. So to be honest, I didn't need to sew down there because I'm going to sew this piece over it, but you know, no harm. So I'm just gently going to stick that on, and then it says handmade down it, so I want it to read this way. So I'm going to make sure I get that to the top, like that, down the sides. There we go. That's fine. And all I'm going to do, because this piece is coming over the bottom, I don't even need to sew the bottom. And I'm not going to sew the sides at the moment, so all I need to do is just stitch down there. And I might just do a straight stitch actually down there, just to see. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so we've got that on and we're just progressing. We want that on, I believe. The picture's gone again. Yes, this one definitely goes on next, because this piece goes over there. It's quite a tight fit, that one, but it does work. And I mean, it's balanced. It looks nice. I like the background. It's got orange in, which this has, and the turquoisey colour. So yeah, we're doing all right. It's looking okay. So let's get this piece on. Of course, if you don't have this fabric, and there's no reason why you should, although I can highly recommend it, you know, use your own fabric and cut out your own shapes, etc. Right, so that's going right in the bottom corner, along the bottom, like that, and up the side. Okay, so that's my next job, to go and sew that. And I think I'll sew this with zigzag, just because, why not? So just snip these thread ends off. It's just easier to snip them off as you go, to be honest, rather than at the end having to have a mass snip. Okay, so we're on the home stretch now. That goes there, over this, and over this, which is the very bottom. So let's just get that in place. And I want the handmade to be reading that way, so we're okay. Right on the edge there. Lovely, like that. And then on the very top, my very top layer, let me just check, yep, is this. Just a little label, I guess, and that's going to go there. So I'm not going to glue that on at the moment because I want to sew around here, but I will sew around there, then I'll stick that on and I'll sew around there too. So when you see everything, it'll look like that. Okay, so I'll see you in a sec. Right, so that's our collage done. All we need to do now is to just sew around the edge. And once again, the choice is yours whether you use a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch. I'm going to use a straight stitch because I think it's going to be easier then to glue the two pages together. Sometimes zigzag can just be a bit awkward. So I'm going to straight stitch around the whole thing, and then our collage and the base of our page is done. Right, so there we have it. That's all sewn down. I've sewed down around the edges, and I think we're ready for the next step. The next step is to add some lace to it. This time I'm using very thin lace. This was sort of medium weight. This was very thick. So really use what you've got in your stash, especially little bits. If you've got little bits to use up, they're perfect for this. Now, just to work out where I want them and which is the right side. I think this is the right side. I don't know, quite fancy having a bit there maybe. Yeah, I like that idea, but I don't know where I'd put another piece. I could have it coming all the way down here. That would be nice. Not down right to the bottom, just down to there, I mean. That would be nice. And possibly a bit under there. Yeah, let's think about that then. I think we're okay. So if that piece was on there, like that. And then maybe just a little bit further down the line when we come to make the journaling cards. I do want those to have lace that sort of sticks out. So that's why we won't be making the covers until later, because I want to see how wide they are when they've got lace, etc. on them. So I don't want to put lace down the edge of this because there will be lace there ultimately. That's quite nice. What about down there? It would mean I've got two lots of laces going up to down, which is maybe not a good idea. Although I don't know, that looks quite nice actually, doesn't it? And don't forget we're going to have this in the mix as well. Got to think about things, haven't you? So my choices are that I have it there. Don't dislike that. I don't dislike it anywhere, that's the thing. If I put it there, then really you're covering up this entire thing, and it's not great. So yeah, I think the two choices really are that I have it along there, like that, quite like that. What's it going to look like once that's on? Okay. Or like this down here. And actually I'm favouring that one. Yep, I am favouring that one, so let's cut that off there. Now you can sew this on and it would make perfect sense to sew it on. But actually, for some reason, I stuck mine on. So I'm going to carry on. I'm just going to stick it on again. Get my glue. This is so lightweight, honestly, it won't take much glue at all. And I'm just going to do it. Put a line of glue, bead of glue, up that line of stitching there. Then make sure I've got this the right way. It's not very easy to tell. In fact, it's almost impossible. I think that's right, and that's not straight there at the end, so let's just straighten that up. And stick that on. Right up that bead of glue. Lovely. Now you want it taut, but you don't want to pull it, because if you pull it, it'll make your card bow, and that's not what you want. So I'm just going to go up here and put a little dab of glue on the sort of peak part, if you like, of the lace, just to hold it in place. Like that. Lovely. Yeah, we'll trim that off in a sec once it's had a chance to dry a bit. And then down here, oh, I guess I'm putting it up to there. Yes. Nearly messed that up there. You don't need lots of glue with this thin lace, I'll tell you. So let's just pop that down in place. And there we go. Lovely. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the peaks. Just a little drop on each one, just to hold it in place. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, I'm pleased to put those there. Quite like it, actually. It looks nice, doesn't it? And it sort of, in a way, highlights this. I don't know how that works, but it does. So let's just trim off the excess that we've got. I've actually got a little bit of excess fabric here, so I'm going to take the opportunity to straighten that up at the same time. There we go. Right, so far so good. Right, the next thing to do is this bit of lace. Now I've selected this piece. For what reason? Who knows? I do not know. It was there in front of me and I thought, oh, that'll look nice. So I hope it does look nice. You can glue it, you can stitch it, you can do what you like. And I've got these two stamps as well in this same colour. So I could put them on like that, but rather than that, I'm going to cut them individually and affix them with a pin there, like that. It's just an added bit of interest, that's all. But in the meantime, let's think what we're going to do with this. Now I've got my big box of embroidery flossers out, as you can see. And I want something that's going to match with that turquoisey colour. What about that? That's not a bad match. Not a bad match at all. Is there anything else that would do the job? I'm not seeing anything. Oh, what's that one? It's a little bit touch brighter. Yeah, I like that one. Let's go for that one. Mr. F got those at a charity shop. No, it wasn't. It was an auction, actually. Right, so I'm just going to take 2 pulls of that. And I don't need all 6 threads. Definitely not. So what I generally do is hold the end between my knees, which that is not. Yeah, just between my knees. And I split off 3 and 3, because there's 6 strands in here, so we only need 3. So pull it apart. I'm circling under the desk here. That's it. There we are. We've got our 3 threads, and I've got a needle here. Right. It's not that easy sewing through the card because this needle has got a big eye, but it's blunt on the other end. So you've got to sort of persuade it. Right, I'm going to tie a knot in the end. I'm just going to tie 2, actually. A double knot. Because I don't want it coming through. Right, there we are. Just cut off some of those tails, I don't need them. Okay, right, what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to cross stitch over this bar here. That's kind of the idea. So I'm going to get my pokey tool because I think that's going to make my life a bit easier. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to glue it on because that is also going to facilitate things. So just along this bar piece here, you'll have your own lace and you'll think of your own way that you want to sew it on. Could be blanket stitch, cross stitch, running stitch, back stitch, any stitch you like, basically. And I'm just going to pop that there, stick that down, which should just make life a little bit easier. So I'm going to go through each of these holes. Where's my yoga mat? That would help. And make my holes first, and then I'll be able to stitch. So through the fabric and the card. Through the lace, through the fabric, through the card, through everything. And then this little bit here at the bottom. But like I say, you'll have your own lace and you'll come up with your own solutions, I know. Okay, so I should have all the holes I need. If not, I've got my pokey tool there. Right, so let's come in. Which one do I want? The one that's there. Is that it? No, it's the one that's above it. There? Yeah, that one there. Right, so in there and through there somewhere. Oh, maybe this isn't a very good idea. Oh no, we're okay. We're doing okay. And then this just takes time, so just allow yourself the peace of mind to just do this. Just enjoy it. Oh, no, not that one. There must be one in there somewhere. It's there, it's that one. Oh, it's in the middle of a junction, that's why. That's why I can't see it. There we have it. We've got it. Oh, there, right, okay. So far so good. These are all quite big holes. I should be able to do it. Where do I want to come out? There. Then I want to go in. You don't need to do this, actually, thinking about it. You know, it would be fine if you just glued it. You definitely don't need to be it's got caught up on the corner. Yeah, you don't need to do hand sewing. But isn't it a nice thing to do? I think it's lovely. I like it. I mean, it's much nicer when I'm not videoing myself doing it. Oh, wrong one. that one, I think. Yeah. But it does make a difference to the overall thing. You know, you've put a great deal of effort into it and it looks pretty good. It's sometimes better if your stitching isn't really, really even. It looks, you know, much more handmade. Not sure where I'm going now. Yeah, that one. Ooh, this is the one through the lace. And then back through there. Must be a hole there somewhere. And then one on the end. So, don't know if there's room for one on the end. I'm just going to sort of make room. Just add some holes. There we go. And then through this hole that I've just made for myself. Lovely. And back through there. And there is a hole there. That's it. Right. So there we have it. I hope you can see that. It's not actually the easiest to see because I've matched it quite well. But it's a row of cross stitches that I've just done by hand. And I like those a lot. Right, what I want to do now is do a French knot on that one and on that one. Now, I'm not an embroidering person. I'm not really any good at embroidery. So I'm winging it, is what I'm doing. I'm winging it. And I'm just travelling along to where I need to be by just going through these stitches on the back. Because we don't want big loops, because we're going to try and put a journaling card in here. And if you put big loops on it, the journaling card will get stuck. So I'm hoping this is going to work. Where do I need to be? Just off that corner a little bit. About there. Right, let's put the holes through and then we'll see where we're aiming for. So there and there. And I'm hoping I can do a French knot, honestly. I'm not a proficient hand embroiderer, but I just thought it would be a nice thing to do on these pages. Right, so what you do, I believe, let's see if this works, is you hold your thread, you go round twice, once, twice, you put your needle back almost into the hole you came out of, but not quite. You hold this thread quite tightly and you pull it through. And that's what you get. Oh my goodness, that's lovely. Wow, we're learning as we go. Every day's a school day, isn't it? There we go, and there's my other hole. I can see it there. So let's pop up through that one, through that little bit at the bottom. There we go. Right, same palaver. Hold your thread once, twice, and then back down almost the hole you came out of, but not quite. And hold this thread with a bit of tension on it while it all disappears down there. And there's your French knot. Oh, come on, I'm impressed. I've impressed myself. I'm sure all you embroidering people out there are going, oh, come on, that's ridiculous. It's probably not right, but I like the look of it, so I'm quite happy. And I'm just going to tie this off here on the back. So we're taking journaling to a new level for me anyway. There we are. Let's just cut that end off. So that's all our hand stitching done on that, and it's looking nice. It's looking nice. Now what I need to do is put the 2 stamps on and a charm. So which charm shall we use for this? I've got a tape measure. Let's use a tape measure, shall we? That look nice there? It kind of swamps the stamps, to be honest. How about a button? Let's try a button. Perfect. Okay, so I want a bulb pin. Well, I've got that turquoise, but it's completely wrong. I've got that sort of old goldy colour. That's quite nice. I've got orange as well, actually. Oh, I quite like the orange. I'm going for the orange. There we go. So I just want to open my bulb pin, pop my charm on, then go through my stamps. Yeah, I need to make a hole, otherwise that's not going to happen. Through there, I would say, and through there. Let's try that. So through, this is always the tricky bit, always tricky. Through there. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, they don't even make these things sharp. They don't even give you a fighting chance. Just gonna have to open that a little bit. Can't do it. Oops, now I've moved it. I've got my stamps on, excellent. So where's the hole? Was that the hole? Well, must have been. Yeah, must have been. So, oh, come on. Come on, come on. Yeah, I hope you're more proficient than I am at this. So that's going in there. It is going in there. It definitely is. And then it wants to come out where that other hole is, which is about there. Yay! And then we just clip it together. And just move it around till you've got it where you want it. And your stamps, you can stick them all down if you want to, but it's not necessary. There we go. I think I'm all right with that. I don't think that needs a charm on it, but a blinking, what do you call it? Jump ring, but it might. But what I'm just going to do is just tack these 2 stamps together with a bit of glue like that. Right, so that's pretty much it, apart from some buttons. So I'm going to go and have a rummage now and see if I can find some buttons, and I'll be back. Right, well, I've had a really good mooch around, and these are the best 2 I can come up with. They are the right colour. They're quite thick, but that doesn't really matter, I don't think. I don't know which is the right way up. That way, I think. So I've got one tealy colour and one orangey colour, and I'm just going to sew those on. Ordinarily, of late, I haven't been sewing my buttons on. I've kind of liked the look, but this is a sewing journal, so it's quite important that we sew the buttons on. So I'm going to pop that there. I mean, there are other places I could put it, But I like the idea of it being over here, I think. Having said that, if we're putting that side into the spine, might be an idea to have these on this side. Leave that spine side a little bit thinner for where it folds. Yeah, that could be right. So I could put them there, or I could put them there. I'm going to put them at the top. I'm going to do that. So let's pop that button there and make some holes. This is a 4-hole button, just to be awkward. There we are. So take my thread. Oh, maybe I could have done with orange thread. Yeah, probably. I'll go and get some orange thread in a bit. But I will. Is that where that wants to go? Back there. Oh. Mr. F's looking for orange thread. I thought I had some last night, but mustn't have had. Right, so this one's going here. So let's get this one sewn on with this colour. So from the right side down through your button, hold on to the tail, come up through the hole that you've made, back up through the free hole in the button. I mean, you know how to sew buttons on. So there we are, we've just got that, and we've got 2 ends. So I can take my needle off the thread and just tie a knot in there. And I generally put 3 knots in it just to hold it tightly. I don't know what I think is going to happen, that the buttons are going to suddenly fall off, but three knots, and then just cut them. And I leave quite a length on them, really, so they're very visible. Like that. Mr. F's found me some orange. So this is the same malarkey. You want 3 threads of it. So I'm going to hold it between my knees again and split off 3, half it. 3 in one, 3 in the other. No, that's 4. Come on. Yeah, I think that's right. And then just split them down. And because you've got holding it in your knee, it won't all do this. It won't all get in a mess. There we go. Right, so this is a 4-hole button. So it takes more thinking about, a little bit more thinking about, not masses. The biggest thing I'm thinking about is, where's my button? Oh, here it is. Right, so in one hole, out one of the holes you've made, hang on to your end, then not that one possibly. No, I want to come out there. I don't have a hole there. I'm going to have to make a hole. Oh, I don't know where that hole is. Anyway, let's cut the agony down and say, sew on your button. I'll be with you in a sec. Right, finally, I've sewn a button on. I can't believe it took that long. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, our page, I think now, is complete, and I really like it. I think it's come out beautifully. It's a lovely colour, that soft turquoisey colour. So, shall we attempt to put some pages in the book? That's the question. So yeah, this is the one. I've got two of these, you see, so it's right. So if we were to put that there, that would be all right, I think. That's going to be the first one you see when you open up. Shall we have this one? Because this is really lovely. Not that they're not all really lovely, I just really like this one. So that would go in there. There's nothing thick down there that's going to get caught up in the binding, which is great. And then if we can't put that one in because that's got buttons and lace, but this one hasn't got anything down there, so that could go on the back of it. Yeah, let's try that. So I'm going to have a go with double-sided tape because I think that's probably going to be the best way of going on with this. Where's my end? Oh, I'm trying to open it the wrong way. That's it. Right, so I want it quite near the score line of the base. So I'm going to go along there. Like that. Okay. And then on the back of that, so this way, and once again quite near the bottom of the valley. There we go. There we go. Right. That should be okay. It should be. I have never done this before in my life, so I do not know. Let's trim off the extra bits at the top, because I bet they won't be a help. There we go. Right, let's burnish those down. I'm stressed, can you tell? I'm just hoping this is going to work. Okay, so the first one is that orange and green one. So let's take the release tape off. Let's go for it. Okay, so I want that close in, but not right in to that groove, because I still want to be able to fold the binding up. Yeah, I think that's okay. Woohoo! Page number 1. Is that right? Have I done that right? Yeah, I think so. I believe so. Let's go for page number 2. Have I burnished it? Yeah, I have. So, which way is up? This is the top, and this is the top. So let's do the same thing here. Right into the crease, but not quite. And I also have the added thing of getting it to match this one. So that's matching there. Doesn't matter if it's not absolutely exact, because like I say, there'll be journaling cards. That's all right, that is. It's a bit of all right. There'll be journaling cards going in that pocket, so, but that's actually a good fit. And there we have it. We have our first page. Oh my goodness me. Is that right? Why have I got that there? Well, I have No, I've done it wrong, haven't I? Yeah, I've done it wrong. Done it wrong. Done it wrong. Oh my goodness. See if we can get these off. Actually, that's coming off so easily that I don't think that's a good method of sticking. Look at that, it's just coming straight off. So, yeah, I don't think that's... I don't know whether it's because it's craft card or what. But it's really hasn't got very much stickiness to it at all. Let's see if I can get this one off as well if I can. So much the better. Well, those of you who like to see me make oopsies, here's an oopsie for you. Oh. Just going to pause that and try and get this off. Right, it came off really easily actually. It's only a couple of seconds. Yes, this is... I've worked out what I've done wrong. This is the front. This is going to be the cover here. This is the inside thinner piece. And this here is the mountain that we need to put it on. That's why it didn't look right. This is the mountain it's going to go on. But I'm not going to use double-sided again because it had virtually no adherence at all. Not sure why, but it didn't. So the question is what to use, and I think I'm going to use my Distress Collage medium. It's a really good glue, and hopefully it should glue these little suckers down. So here we go again, just like we've never been here before. So almost up to that crease, right up to the top of the peak. See if we can get these stuck down in a correct manner, as opposed to the last time. Sorry about that, guys, but I did warn you I'd never done it before. Right. So this is the front, so this needs to go there. Okay. So I want it there, I think, is where I need it. At least with glue you have got a little minute to move it around. Oh, more than a minute. Once this stuff sticks though, it really does stick. What I'm going to do is fold that up. Push that right down into there. Oh. Yes, it's turning into another nightmare. Alright, so that doesn't want to stick either. What's going on? What exactly is going on with all my glues? Once collage medium sets though, it does set. That's not right at the top. That's right. Okay, so I think I'm probably just going to have to stand and hold this for a second or two till it sets up. But I think we're in the right place. That can fold over quite easily. Excellent. I think that's okay. Got a little bit of glue in there, but I think we'll be all right. Right, so I'm just going to hold that for a second or two. Oh, this is turning into a bit of a drama, isn't it? So I'll be back when this is stuck. Don't know how long that will be. Right, finally I think I have got that stuck. In the end I had to use my Cosmic Shimmer glue because nothing else seemed to want to stick. I don't know whether it's the craft paper, whether I'm doing something wrong, no idea. But let's try and stick the second half of this first page in. And I hope yours goes more smoothly than mine. And I'm sure it will. So I've got plenty of glue on there. Right. Let's hope. So which is the top would be a good start. This is the top here, so I need this way. Let's pop that in, says she, like it was easy. Let's stick that, tack that down a little bit, and then see if we can get these two to line up. That's not bad at all. Blimey. That went better than I was thinking. Right, so I'm just going to fold that all up like that, and then I'm going to crease it, burnish it down from here on the top like that, and hopefully those two will be stuck. Yeah, I reckon so. Then what we have to do is just glue around which edges, you know, to leave a pocket. But for the meantime, I'm going to put a clip on that and call it done. And if you stayed with me throughout, well done. Well done indeed. So let's clip this on, and then I'm going to go and have my lunch. And we've got our first page in. How exciting. Let's hope that they don't all drive me quite this bonkers. There we are. So that's done. I'll leave that for a goodly while till I recover from the trauma. And join me again soon, and we'll make some more pages, and I'll try not to make them quite so difficult as this one. This has been not easy. But great, thank you. See you soon. Bye.